Good afternoon, dear teacher, and thanks for accepting to the interview. The current interview is about differences in the use of the same language. I will not take more than 5 or 10 minutes. Can we start?
Okay.
How can you differentiate language from dialect?
A language is the tongue which is spoken in a whole country or a whole area, but a dialect is a spoken language specific of a small region.
Okay. Question number two, how can you define morphology?
Morphology is the study of the words, their roots, where they come from, the suffixes and prefixes.
And number three, how can you define syntax?
Syntax is the use of the words in a sentence, the location of these words and the processes that involve this.
And number four is, what is the most common way in which dialects of a language vary? Pronunciation, spelling, or sentence formation?
In pronunciation, I think I live in a South American country called Ecuador, and we have four regions. The main regions, for instance, are the coastal region and the highland region, or Sierra in the Andean mountains. Um, we speak the same language, which is Spanish, but the pronunciation is very different between these two regions.
Okay. Five, can you provide an example of dialect variation based on this option that you have chose?
Yeah, in Spanish we can say trae algo, and in the Sierra they say try, like tr, it's a different sound. And in English we can say neither from the American English and neither for the British English, but it's the same language with a different pronunciation.
Okay. Six is, what is the most common reason for dialect to vary? A, geographical location, B, economic status, or C, educational status?
I think it's the geographical location. For instance, in the United States, there are, I think, five natural regions, which is the Northwest, the Southwest, the Northeast, the Southeast, and of course the plains in the middle. But people speak different in the Atlantic coast than in the Wild West. Well, we call it the Wild West, but it is the they speak very different, and I think it's because of the geographical location. Also, in my country, is the same.
Okay. Can you provide an example of dialect variation based on the option you just chose?
As I told you, you can say uh, I don't know. There's a common word in the West that is very used for them. Instead of saying I am not angry, they say I ain't angry. So this is not formal English. This is not in the rules of the English language, but it is used, so it exists.
Okay. And question number eight, taking into account English language, can you tell an existing difference in regard to pronunciation, spelling, and sentence formation between British and American English?
For example, there are some words, many words in English, or telling most of the words in English are used sometimes in the sentence as a noun, sometimes as a verb. So the word practice ends in ce when you use it in the American English as a noun or as a verb. But in the British English, this same word is spelling different when you use it as a noun and as a verb. When you use it as a noun, you use ce at the end of this word, but in the British you use se when it is a verb. And that is the difference. Sometimes, the first thing that I knew this, that I noticed this, I thought that the book was wrong. But then I figured out that it was not. I was wrong.
Yeah, okay. Taking into account Spanish language, can you tell an existing difference in regard to pronunciation, spelling, and sentence formation between coast and Sierra or Highland region speakers?
I have an anecdote about this. This is very funny. When, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, when my son was very little, we went to Ambato. It's a highland city. We always travel on vacations with my family to that place. So we always stay in an apartment, which is in our apartment over there. And my son saw many children playing around, and he said, "May I play?" And I said, "Go." And he went. And after a while, he came to me and he was very sad. And he told me, "I don't understand the Ambateño language, or the Ambato language, which is the name of the city." And I told him, "Pay attention just a little more, because it's the same language as Spanish, but they speak a little different." And then during this afternoon and in the night, he was playing again with these same children. And when they finished, we were talking again, and he was very happy because he said to me, "Now I understand the Ambato language," but it was the same.
Yeah.
It was a very funny story about our lives.
Okay, and the last question is there any other dialect variation that you can tell how it happens?
I don't know. I'm not thinking in that, but for example, in the American pronunciation and in the British pronunciation, the accent is very different. The American is very relaxed, and the British pronunciation, I think, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I want to qualify this accent like a strong accent. You know, it's very tough, very like a, I don't know how to say it, but it's especially the T sound and the D sound in the British. It sounds like that. It's very strong. For example, "I don't know," but in American English you say "I don't know." You know, letter D between vowel sounds like letter R, the Latin R, not the American R. Something like this.
Okay, that's all, dear teacher. Thanks for helping.
Okay, it was a pleasure.